Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to show you how to repair the water heater. These are the two issues that we got on the inspection report. The one at the top says that the base is not the appropriate one, and the one at the bottom says that the pressure pipe, it doesn't extend all the way down to the ground since it needs to be 6 inches away from the floor level. Stay tuned until the end so you can see the entire process. If this is your first time connecting with us and you want to learn more about how to do DIY projects and all kinds of handyman work, then you're in the best place here on YouTube. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any future videos. This is our 40-gallon water heater we have in the garage area. It currently has the two seismic straps, and this is the concrete base. We got called out for this. The inspector says that we need to replace it with the correct one. And then also this pressure pipe, it's kind of cut out there at the top, so they said that we need to replace it and have it go all the way down to 6 inches away from the floor level. So those are the copper pipes that go in for the hot water and the cold water. We're going to be shutting those off. That's the pressure valve right there that releases all the pressure from the water if needed. So that's the pipe. We're going to replace it with a proper CPVC pipe and make sure that everything is the way it should be. So the first thing, we're going to shut off the valve at the bottom there where it comes out from the gas. Once you shut that off, then you can turn off the water and the cold and hot water at the top, and then you can start disconnecting the connections basically. So we're gonna start off at the top. We're just removing the hot water and the cold water, just detaching it there, and then also just getting it loose so we can be able to have some wiggle room. And we decided to use a air pressure. This is we have an air compressor, and so we have this line right here, and we're just putting pressure into the tank so that way it will release the water a lot faster. Since normally what you have to do is once you disconnect everything, at the bottom there's like a little valve or a little area there where it releases the water. I'll show you in a little bit. So by us doing this, putting pressure into the tank there from the top, it basically releases the water a lot quicker than if we were just to leave it on its own. This is the one that I was talking about here where it releases the water. So if you leave it just like that, it's gonna let the water out, but it's gonna be really slow, and it might take you a few hours before you can take out all the water. So that's why, by us putting the pressure into the top, into the tank, it's gonna release the water a lot faster, and then we're gonna be able to continue with this project in about 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes, instead of waiting 2 to 3 hours. So you can either hook up a hose to that, it just screws on right there where the water's coming out, or we use that, but then we also use the bucket. So you can tell right there, look, as it's putting pressure in, the water is coming out a lot more. So, and then if he doesn't put pressure in it, it kind of lessens, quite a bit. So this method really helped us out. It's pretty straightforward. You just, put in the pressure in there until most of the water comes out. And we're doing this because we're gonna have to lift this water tank by hand, so that way we can remove the concrete base out of the way. So we're just gonna do this, remove the bucket, replace it, and just do this a couple times. And once we feel that the water tank is light enough, then that's pretty much it. We're just gonna pick it up by hand and hold it temporarily while another person, removes it, the base, and replaces it. So this is the proper metal base. I picked it up at my local plumbing supply. It has the 3 screws at the bottom, and it just has 4 legs, so it's pretty straightforward. Pretty simple design. So I couldn't believe that they made me do this, because the concrete one has been there for years and it didn't get called out before. So we decided to remove those 3 screws that are at the bottom, because the level that the water tank is right now, those screws weren't really needed to adjust the height. So my dad is gonna lift it up right there. I'll remove the concrete, and then I just put the base right in there, and it's that simple. Pretty straightforward. The concrete ring that was at the bottom, it was hollow, so it wasn't that heavy. And then it just had like the concrete base sitting on top of the ring. So it wasn't that bad to remove it. My dad was able to hold the tank. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and just connect everything back. So right there, we're just gonna hook up the water, the hot water, the cold water, the vent, everything. The good thing, we didn't have to really adjust it much. It pretty much stayed in the same position, so we didn't really have to cut any pipes or do much with these. They pretty much hook back right up like no problem, and then we just tighten it up, and that's it. So that's the ring right there that I was talking about, the concrete that was there, and then the base at the bottom. So that's what we removed, and we're just gonna throw it away because we don't really have any more use for it. But that was the reason why our inspection failed. The inspector said that I guess that's not appropriate anymore. It's not per code. So we have to do the other method, which it wasn't that bad. The metal base was about, I think, like $50 or $60, something like that. So it was pretty inexpensive. And right here, we're just starting to connect the gas line right there back to the unit. So we're just gonna tighten it up, screw it back on, and then from there we can turn on the gas, and we're gonna open up the water at the top, just that way the tank could get filled back in. And then we're gonna turn on the gas and just light it back up. And I mean, it's, that easy, that straightforward. And by doing this, you can save yourself hundreds of dollars, and this will make sure that you can pass the home inspection, so that way you can either sell your house or do whatever you need to do. And the pipe there, I'm going to show you as well right now how to do that. So this is the pipe that we just decided to replace it so we can have a nice new continuous pipe. We're gonna use the same size and everything, but we're gonna utilize the CPVC, which is meant for hot water and cold water. So there's everything hooked back up, ready to go. And we're just gonna go ahead and start working on that pipe. And we're just gonna extend it all the way down to the bottom right there, so that it's 6 inches away from the ground. And then right there, we just remove that pipe from the fitting. We put in the new one, and you want to put glue on the threads. So once you have it in there, you want to put the glue on there, and then you just tighten it. And right here, we're just dry fitting everything. We're just cutting it in the size that we need, and we're just gonna dry fit it in there. And once you have a pretty good confident idea of where everything's going, then you can just go ahead and glue it. And that's pretty much it right there. So as ridiculous as it may sound or be, I mean, that is per code. So that's how things need to be. So if you look at your water heater, and if it doesn't have this, most of them don't even have the seismic straps. So and the appraiser always calls that out. So once you fix those 2 things, you make sure your water heater straps are on, turn it back on and everything. That's pretty much it. So this water heater is already perfect. Like, it has everything it needs. It will not have any problems. It's going to pass the inspection, and that's how you repair the two most common problems that a water heater has that causes it not to pass the inspection. So we hope you like this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Activate the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any future videos that we'll be uploading. And since we upload a lot of videos that will help you increase your home value, and that way you can ultimately make more money. So that's pretty much it. Everything is already here, nice and secure. So we'll see you on the next one.